Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Reactor and this is Quinn, and today's article comes from CBSNews.com and says, Mom sues after video shows toddlers in fight club at St. Louis daycare.
Fight club.
Toddler fight club. So that's what we're doing right now. We got... All right. Yeah, there's a video up here. I'm going to play it later. Let's read it first. The disturbing video taken at a St. Louis daycare shows toddlers punching each other in a ring as the adults in the room encourage the violent fighting. The December 2016 incident is being described as a daycare fight club, and the mother who obtained the video is now suing the school. So, you send your kids to daycare while you're at work, you know?
It sounds reasonable. They're making the kids fight each other, so this person decides they're going to sue them. I mean, that's pretty...
I think they might have a case. They might have a case.
It seems normal, depending on
what kids against each other.
What they will show me later, I believe. I would probably do the same thing.
Yeah. Nicole Merciel says one of her sons, who was 10 years old at the time, filmed the fighting with his iPad. KTVI reports her son was worried about his little brother, who was in the next room, being beaten up by his classmates. He began filming the bizarre fighting and sent the video to Merciel. Okay.
So this is a 10-year-old
that recorded his little brother.
His little brother in a fight club. He used a phone. He was able to record. He knew how to do that.
He's 10.
And it's like 10 years old. That's the right age. Like, you should. I think 8 years old a kid could have a phone, as long as they're even.
Dude, 7-year-olds are better than you at video games.
Yeah, you know.
7-year-olds.
I think really, as soon as a child's able to understand how, hey, this could be used for an emergency. This is mommy's and daddy's number. That use it. You know.
iPads and smartphones are part of life.
Yeah.
So if someone who's 7 years old, existence always had.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a kid and you don't know how to, use a phone, just to even call, the hospital, 911, whatever. I mean, you have to know how to do it these days.
Cooler if you put it on Facebook Live.
Right.
It would have gotten a lot of attention. The video shows a child wearing Hulk fists and punching another boy in the head as a teacher jumps up and down in excitement. Another teacher is also present in the video and is seen putting the toy fists on a child and teeing him up for a fight. Wow. I'm sure they weren't thinking, like, 'cause the Hulk fists, they're like giant foam fists. You know?
Are they foam? Because I remember seeing ones that were actually hard plastic.
No, I mean, they're
the inside.
The ones I've always seen are foam. It's like if you wanted,
so
you could rip them apart.
Like a boxing glove, sort of.
It's like a big fluffy fist thing.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
No, so what I was gonna say though is, like, obviously they didn't have any intentions of getting the children hurt. I don't know why they thought this was okay, but it's not like they gave them brass knuckles and said, all right.
This is probably something that goes on regularly at these teachers' house. They probably have nephews, nieces, kids, neighbor kids, whatever. They're all fighting, playing. Maybe this is something that they do. But maybe they just weren't aware that you can't do this in public.
If I had kids, I don't think the whole point of those fists were invented for kids to punch each other, right? And I'm wondering where those fists came from, how they got into school, because having those fists in the school automatically implies kids fighting, right?
Well,
doing exactly this.
To be fair, I doubt there's a tremendous amount of scrutiny that goes on doing a background check of a, daycare worker in some small daycare. I'm sure that they're checked to see if they're a criminal, but I mean, they're, to know how much they enjoy the movie Fight Club or a UFC tournament.
I don't think that's what it comes down to.
Involving kids in it is.
I think they had this toy that was meant for kids to bop each other, and they said, let's use the toy. All right, kids, use the toy. When I think about it like that, it's like they didn't really do anything horrible. Were they betting on the kids? That would be horrible.
No, I don't remember a tremendous amount of fighting. There was some fighting, but it wasn't like there were gloves to put on to fight. There was no. I mean, you can change. I feel like you can change a kid's mindset pretty quickly. It's almost like, hey, what about this? And they're like, ADD mindset's like, oh yeah, let's go do that. It's like, hey, here's a bike, go ride it. They'll do it. They don't want to fight really. It doesn't really matter. Their attention span's so short.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, it's crazy for the teachers to do this, but the gloves were intended for that.
It is absolutely nuts.
No, but I'm saying, like, the glove. Who invented these gloves for kids to punch each other? Wouldn't that be the issue?
It's definitely like a boxing glove. What it sounds like.
No, it is. I know it is. I bought some for my niece before.
Okay.
Anyway, let's continue. The video shows a child wearing Hulk fists. The only person seen trying to stop the fighting is another preschooler. A toddler gets knocked to the ground and repeatedly punched in the head by a classmate. Merciel said her son, who turned 4 that day, was crying in the video. He doesn't understand why his friends were fighting him, why he was beaten up by his best friends, Merciel said. Are you serious? He doesn't understand how the toys work? That's BS. He knew what was happening. Like, she's just trying to make it sound worse. Both teachers in the video were fired, according to a police report. KTVI reports inspections of the Adventure Learning Center were increased after the incident, and other violations were found. Merciel, however, believes more has to be done.
Just the name of it, Adventure Learning Center. If it looked really colorful and it had really cool shapes and it, happy little smiley faces, squiggly hair, big eyes, I'd be like,
Probably
oh, that
does.
sounds great.
Probably does.
And I'd be like, that sounds legit. I would put my kid there.
Yeah. And if my kid was using Hulk fists to fight other kids, I really wouldn't care.
If I even walked in and I saw kids running around with Hulk fists on, maybe even tapping another kid or hitting books and stuff, I'd be like, oh, it's just a kid playing with Hulk fists.
If I found out they were making my daughter fight people, that I would be upset about that because she could be traumatized.
If I walked in and I saw one child punch another child in the face with a Hulk fist, I wouldn't leave my children there.
Really?
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah. But what if, what about the parents who own these Hulk fists at home? Like they also have bought them for the kids. You can't get mad. You're like, wait, they were using the toy that you bought your kid? Well, they're not supposed to do it at school. I don't teach them to use toys at school. It's whatever, man. I want them to be held accountable, and I don't want this to happen to any other child, the mother told KTVIV. She is now suing the school. Well, she should be going after the toy manufacturer, because the school is only using the toy for its intended purpose. But she has no problem with the toy existing. That's weird, That toy is punching kids every single day throughout the world.
It's difficult to argue that the fist was designed for anything else when the character behind the fist it was manufactured for's tagline is Hulk Smash.
Yeah.
Difficult.
Merciel said she immediately contacted the director of the preschool after receiving the video her older son took. Although both teachers were fired, the St. Louis Circuit Attorney Office declined to prosecute, and the daycare continued to operate, according to KTVI. Yeah, I think they're blowing this out of proportion because the mother sees this as a payday. Don't sit your kid down and tell him he's traumatized. Oh my God, what they did to you. Well, you'll never be okay.
Right.
You were using a toy, dude. It's a toy that kids use all the time.
To be fair, this child may be have a lot of mental confliction, mental pain and suffering, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
PTSD.
He thought his life was in danger from the Hulk toy.
I mean, who knows? I
doubt it.
They make it sound very bad.
The kid might be traumatized, for all we know. But I'm just saying, my kid would not be traumatized. I wouldn't rub it in his face that he's a victim of a toy. I don't know. Merciel said 2 years later, she still cries when she watches the video. She is now struggling to make her young son realize that fighting at school is not widely accepted. When we chose a new daycare for him and he started going, he asked me in the car if they were going to make him fight, the mother told KTVI. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it could be bad, but the toy's intended purpose was just, the mother is suing the daycare for more than $25,000. ABC reports, if I'm not a voice for my children, who will be, she told the network. Someone at the daycare hung up the phone when a CBS News reporter called Wednesday morning. Yep.
Right.
So I understand where the mother's coming from, but I don't think the kid is going to be traumatized for the rest of his life because this was a toy.
If daycare centers in the world do not put boxing gloves in your daycare center because children will mistakenly use them for what they're intended for.
I don't think the issue is this daycare center. I think the issue is, if you really are against what happened here, is the toy that exists for kids to punch each other.
Right.
That's the issue.
What are you supposed to do with a foam fist that you put on?
Yeah.
Go shake hands with everybody?
No.
It's a fist.
It's two fists. Oh, yeah, I got to play the video. So check this out.
We're going to begin with this. The midterm elections are just 5 days away and counting.
Ooh, the failed midterm push.
Mr. Obama
This is the wrong video. Hold on. Technical difficulties. So here we go.
Oh.
So St. Louis Daycare hosted a fight club for preschoolers. Newly released
That
video
kid-
from 2016 shows teachers at the Adventure Learning Center.
Wow,
apparently
look, the kid in the
encouraging
blue
kids
shirt's got him
to
inside
beat
guard
one another
already.
in the
Oh, he's going for a full
classroom.
mount.
Shot by a
Yeah, see, there's
This kid watches UFC with his parents or something. Look at him go.
Is that the traumatized kid, or is the kid on the floor the traumatized one?
It looks like the kid on the floor is taking the brunt of the damage.
Yeah, you know what else is crazy? While these kids played with these toys, the brother sat there and recorded it instead of helping his brother, because his brother's obviously, apparently, been traumatized by this. Well, I just stop this.
I just want to go up. Yeah, please.
His brother's been traumatized by this, according to the mother.
Mm-hmm.
Then why did the 10-year-old son sit there watching the son get traumatized? Oh, because he's just a kid. You can't blame him. Sure, I guess. I don't know. This is being blown up way bigger than it really is. Kids using a toy in a preschool, you know.
You know, perhaps this story will be huge one day when this child in the blue shirt makes his UFC debut, and I can't even stop thinking about it.
Yeah, maybe. The kid wasn't doing bad.
He was doing excellent. It's like he's been trained since he was born.
Maybe his school has him do it all the time.
You know,
He was the class
what's
champion.
his name? If what's his name? Dana, what's his name from UFC got his eyes on that, he'd be like, this kid, Joe Rogan, this kid, look at him go. I mean, he's like a young
Have someone announce the
savant.
fight. Yeah, that's all I have to say about this. How about you? Yeah, so that's it for the video. I think, while it's bad to beat up kids,
Terrible.
having them use a toy, don't blame the people who have the toy, blame the toy manufacturer. Everyone knows what those fists are going to be used for.
Don't put him in kids' rec
Yeah.
rooms.
And don't convince your child he's traumatized because he played with a toy at school. You know, that's not going to help him in life. But anyway, that's it for the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Let us know what you think by leaving a comment. And check out our Patreon link in the description if you want to help us, because that'd be awesome. And thanks for watching.